No one wakes up from comfort. No one leaves the matrix just out of curiosity. There is always pain. A breaking point. Silent. Frozen. So deep that not even you are aware of it. Some people grew up in homes where no one shouted, but every look was cold. Some heard "good job" but still felt invisible. Some learned that love had to be earned, that being a good kid meant stop being yourself. That "don't feel" was never said out loud, but lived out every day. Some forgot how to cry. Some learned to smile all the time. Some became strong far too early, because it was the only way to survive. This pain isn't in what happened. It's in what didn't happen. No one caught you when you fell. No one listened when you spoke. No one protected you when you were scared. No one said "you're okay" when you felt something was deeply wrong. Psychologists call it trauma of absence. It's the emptiness that was never filled. And now it drives your adult decisions. You don't trust, because no one ever truly heard you. You're afraid to open up, and because you were once ridiculed. You leave first, because someone once left you, and now you've grown up. But inside, you're still that 5-year-old, alone, afraid, still waiting for someone to come and say, "It's different now, you're safe." But no one comes. Neuroscience is clear. Emotions from childhood wire themselves into your brain. They become filters through which you see the whole world. If you once learned that the world isn't safe, you'll live as if that's the truth. Peter Levine, the founder of somatic experiencing, says, "Trauma is not what happens to you. It's what happens inside you as a result of what happened. But it's through that wound that the light comes in. Awakening begins where numbness ends, where the mask becomes too heavy, where living for others becomes unbearable, where you finally turn back to find yourself, not to blame, but to finally be honest. Yes, I was hurt. Yes, I was alone. Yes, I became convenient because I was scared to be real. But now, I choose differently." This isn't a one-day process. It's not healing. It's reunion with your body, with your truth, with the part of you that got lost while chasing love. Most people think they're making choices, choosing partners, jobs, cities, lifestyles. But the truth is, they're just choosing what won't hurt, or what feels familiar, even if it destroys them. You choose love not by heart, but by pattern, where you must prove yourself, where no one hears you, where you're never quite enough. You choose your job not by calling but by safety, by your parents' voice, by the whisper that says, "You must, you owe, you can't survive otherwise." You live in a city that suffocates you, in a body that's tense, in a mind that keeps repeating, "What if I ruin everything? What if I fail again?" This is called trauma repetition, when the psyche doesn't look for happiness, but for familiar pain, to try and win. This time, you choose a cold partner because you want to prove you're worthy of warmth. You overwork to prove you're needed. You stay silent because once, words got you rejected. Everything you call personality might just be a layer of survival. The longer you've reacted in the same way, the stronger the pattern becomes. The brain doesn't care if it's good for you. It cares if it's familiar. You can dream of freedom, but your muscles are clenched with shame. You may long for closeness, but your body expects danger. You might say, "I can do anything," while a voice inside whispers, "Sit down, don't disturb, stay quiet, it's safer." Trauma is not just a memory, it's an architect. It shapes what you see, where you look, who you let in, what you fear, and what you call normal. Until you bring it to light, it keeps designing your world. Want to break free? Not through resistance, not by wearing a mask of success, but by returning to the moment where it all broke. To the moment you decided, "I can't, no one understands me, I don't matter." That's where the key lies, not outside, not in a coach, but in seeing this truth. You were never weak, you were adapted, you were surviving. You're not living your destiny, You're living your pattern, but you can let it go. Not forcefully, not instantly, but simply by not repeating it. One new action, one new thought, one new choice, and the structure begins to crack. This is the moment you finally ask, not, what do they expect from me, but what do I want if I had no fear? And that's where life begins. Not as a reaction, but as a creation. Not as survival, but as a return home. You can understand everything. You can label all your traumas, read 100 books, tell your story aloud. But the moment you try to change and there's fear, tension, weight, you're still trapped, because your body is still there. You say, I'm calm, but your breath is shallow. You say, I'm strong, but your shoulders are slouched. You say, I'm free, but your steps are stiff like someone's pulling you back. That's unprocessed pain, wired into movement, into posture, into reflex. PET scans of traumatized people show abnormal activity in the amygdala and brainstem, the survival and fear centers. Even in calm environments, their bodies act like danger is near. So when you try to start a new life, the body resists. It doesn't believe you. It doesn't know you're safe. You walk into an important meeting and shake. You say, I'm worthy, and your stomach tightens. You meet love, and your body prepares for rejection. It's not sabotage, it's instinct. The body holds onto the version of you that once got hurt, and it won't let go until you return and whisper, I'm here. I see you. You're not alone anymore. You cannot heal while fighting your body, while trying not to feel, while ignoring the signals and calling them silly. Peter Levine, the founder of somatic experiencing, wrote, Wild animals rarely get traumatized because they know how to release tension. Humans, however, trap it inside. We are the only species that carries pain as duty. We grit our teeth, swallow our voice, wear suffering like a second skin. Want to break free? Start listening. When does your body tense up? When does it feel heavy? What does it long to do, but doesn't? Maybe you want to cry. Be silent. Stand up and walk away. Exhale. Unclench your fists. Relax your jaw. Fall to the ground. Just be, instead of doing. That's where healing begins. Not in the mind, but in the body. Once it's finally heard. You don't have to be who they made you. You don't have to keep repeating. You don't have to survive when you could live. You're not a system. You are consciousness, and you can rewrite yourself. Rewiring is not magic. It's not, I understood everything and now life is different. It's a shift in internal frequency, which leads to real change. Here's how it happens. Stop the loop. You notice, I want to run again when it gets close. I want to prove myself again. I freeze again when I need to speak. This is not failure. This is the signal. And awareness is the point of rewiring. A new reaction. If you still act like before, you're on the old timeline. If you want to act like before, but don't, you're in the transition. Pause. Exhale. Speak. I choose differently. Now. From this moment on. Even if your voice shakes. Even if you're unsure. This is your new reality. Daily anchoring. Neuroscientists say it takes 21 to 60 days of repetition for a new neural pathway to form, but not by force, by presence. It could be just 5 minutes a day, but they must be honest. Sit with yourself. Ask, where am I betraying myself? Where am I back on autopilot? What am I choosing now? Work with the body. It won't forget until you let it go. Movement, breath, speaking aloud, presence. Rewiring is not becoming someone else. It's becoming yourself, without fear. Permission for a new reality. You don't have to suffer to be worthy. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to fight to live well. You can simply stop feeding the old, and it will begin to fall apart. One new thought, one new movement, One choice different from before, and reality is no longer the same. Rewiring doesn't happen overnight, but it begins in 1 second. The second you finally say, enough. I choose myself.